Sanity functions enable us to run time-based automations directly within Sanity. So for these things that we need to do every day or every week, we don't need to turn to external cron infrastructure. We can use Sanity Scheduled Functions. In this case, I have an agentic chatbot, and I'm going to ask it a question today that it's not going to know the answer to. At midnight, I'm going to have two scheduled functions run. One is going to find the content gaps, the things it didn't know. And the second function is going to take those content gaps and then try to modify my content so that there are no longer gaps. So today we're going to chat with the agent, and I'm going to show you the syntax and logic. And then tomorrow we're going to check back in and see that the agent has succeeded. Let's dive into this hotel booking demo that I've built where I have an agent, and I'm going to ask it, do you have electric vehicle charging at Ritz Paris? It does not know if it has electrical vehicle charging. This is a success for the demo. Now let's look at the syntax and logic on how you can set up scheduled functions in your project. To define the function, we use the defineScheduledFunction wrapper. We give it a name and event. I'm choosing the more verbose event right here where I get to explicitly say what minute of what day, what hour, etc. If you want to use the old school / more typical cron expression, you can use that as well. And I have commented out the time zone, but we can add time zones, which is awesome. By default, everything's in UTC. I do have a timeout that is custom. It's above the default because we're running some inference. I want to give it a little bit more room. And the last part, these two kind of go together. This scheduled function is defined for the organization, but it needs to access a given project. So in the environment variables, we're passing in the project ID and data set, and we need to give the scheduled function access to the project. So we define a robot token above. The goal of this is to populate my Agent Insights dashboard here, and I'll show you how to get this in a second. We get scores about how the chats are doing, a sentiment analysis, and here's that content gaps. This Insights plugin and the logic to populate all of this is done through Sanity Context. At its core, Sanity Context lets you connect your agent to your Sanity content. Within this package, we have Insights. This is both a plugin for Sanity Studio, and if we scroll down, we will see that we have this classify conversations function. It makes it really easy to just call this, and then it goes and finds the content gaps, classifies your conversations. And our second scheduled function, almost identical to the first, the one thing I'll point out is that I have this going at minute 30. That way, this runs after that first function. First function finds the things that the agent didn't know. Second function takes those things and tries to fix them. To do that, we're going to use Content Agent. Now, if you're within the Sanity dashboard, you'll see Content Agent right here. This can run your content operations. You can ask it to find content, edit content, bulk update content, and Content Agent is available as an API. And so that's exactly what I'm doing, is using the Content Agent API. And I'm using this because I don't have to worry about the implementation details here. I just say, hey, here are the content gaps. Go fix them. And then it knows how to navigate all of my Sanity content and then be able to edit the content, stage it in a content release. And that is just super convenient and it's easy to use. And that is the syntax and logic on how to set up scheduled functions and pair them with Sanity's AI features to automatically improve our agent. I'm going to check back in with you tomorrow. All right, it's a new day. Believe it or not, I know it looks like I just walked off and back on, but it's a new day and we're going to see what the scheduled functions have done overnight. Looking at Sanity Studio, we're first going to see if it has detected the content gap. And yeah, we've got the EV charging availability at Ritz Paris. Now let's see if it has fixed the content by going over to content releases where it would stage content changes so I can review them. We do have a new release here with 4 changes to hotels, one of those being the Ritz Paris. Let's open that up, and ideally we should see the amenity with EV charging, and sure enough, we do. So that is a success. Now you might be wondering, how did the Content Agent API know that that hotel had EV charging if the chatbot did not? I have the chatbot scoped down to only be able to view certain content types. One of those content types it can't view is press releases. I don't want it looking at press releases to answer questions, kind of for this demo. and the Content Agent API has access to all of the content. Go build time-based automations using scheduled functions, and you can pair functions with Sanity's AI features to do things like automatically improve your agent. It's free to get started, so go build today.